to Daily Devotions. My name is Dean and I'm on team here at Father's House Church in North End, as well as the online church pastor, and really is a privilege for me to share a devotion with you this morning. Yesterday was Valentine's Day, and last week Alzana and I shared our 13th wedding anniversary. So for us in February, we also have a couple birthdays thrown in the mix, but for the most part, really is the month of love for us. And yesterday with Valentine's Day, saw so many posts of this is my Valentine's and my forever Valentine's, and so really amazing. And so you would probably guess that if you've been to a wedding or shared a couple Instagram or social media posts yesterday, you could probably guess where I'm going, and you guessed it correctly. 1 Corinthians 13. If you've got your Bible app with you, if you've got your Bible with you, I would love for you to please jump to 1 Corinthians 13 with me. 1 Corinthians 13, and we'll start at verse 4. Good morning, Carol. I hope that you and the girls are doing well this morning. And Johanna, good morning. Thank you so much for your comment. Appreciate that. 1 Corinthians 13, traditionally, we've so often heard it at weddings. We've so often heard it quoted to describe what love is. And often we have attributed it to a romantic love or a relational romantic love, and which is true, which is absolutely true. But Paul has this little preface as he writes this passage to the Corinthians, where he talks about if you have everything else in the world, everything that you would ever dream of around what it means to be a Christian, you could speak in voices and tongues of angels, but if you haven't got love, you've got absolutely nothing. And so love is really placed at the highest regard in terms of what it means for us to live our lives here on earth and what it means for us to live our lives together in community. What I'd like to do this morning is really just read those 4 verses for us, and really allow those 4 verses to wash over us. And then I would like to try and do 1 or 2 little things as we wrap up to read that again. So if you've got 1 Corinthians 13 with me, would you read with me? It says, love is patient, love is kind, does not envy, it does not boast, it's not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, and it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, it always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. A really beautiful description. You can really see why this is read just about everywhere, whether it's at weddings or quoted on Valentine's Day, or used to describe what we believe, as I'm doing this morning, should really be the foundation and the heartbeat of our communities. This is love. Now, as Paul was talking in the beginning there a little bit, doesn't help if you've got all the Christian bells and whistles, but you haven't got love. And I wonder for each one of us this morning, when we read and when we hear love described like this, what does it do for each of us personally? And what would it do for each of us today if we were to replace the word love with our first names? What would happen in our hearts is if, as I read through that, I said, Dean is patient. Dean is kind. Dean does not envy, does not boast, and is not proud. Because so often as we read through the scriptures here, 1 Corinthians 12, and as we go over to 1 Corinthians 13, Paul says, guys, please don't miss this. Please don't miss this. What it means for us to live in community is that we would love one another. And how do we go about loving one another? That we would be patient, that we would be kind, that we would not envy and not boast, and that we would not be proud. Almost Paul is saying you can have all the Christian things, but if you're not patient with your kids, you've missed it. If you're not kind to your neighbor, you've missed it. If you can't be kind to the guy who just accidentally cut you off in traffic, I think you've missed it. For each of us this morning, I wonder if we could take a moment and read through that passage once again by inserting our first names as a prayer to the start of this day. As a little reflection on a wedding anniversary and a little reflection on Valentine's Day, but as a reflection for each of us today, Tuesday, that we would go out into this world with this idea that we are patient and we are kind, but that you would put your first name in the passage there as a prayer for you for today. Good morning, Annalise and Violet. Good morning. Thank you for your comments. Leslie, hi. And Tracy, Port out in Tarkastad. I hope that you are doing well. This morning, take a moment in 1 Corinthians 13, starting at verse 4. I'm going to read the passage again as a prayer over each of us and would encourage you to put your first name there and then we'll wrap it up. Love is patient and love is kind, does not envy, does not boast, and it is not proud, does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking and not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. Always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. I hope that you have an absolutely wonderful Tuesday. God bless you, God be with you today, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.